All right, I don't know if anybody's here yet or not. It doesn't look like it. But that's fine. I'm here. We'll get started when somebody says hi. And we're just going to see what happens. Don't show my dirty bed. We don't need to see that. So it's getting all over my hands. Well, we'll be here for a little while, see what happens. This may be a very short chat. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? You were the first one to show up, so welcome, sir. Yeah, thank you for the happy belated. I happened to be on a 5-day weekend because of the 4th. I had where I work at, they closed down Thursday and Friday both. And I could have took it off with pay, but I didn't want to take my vacation that way. I just took the 2 days off. So I'm off till Tuesday. I usually have, thank you, sir. Should I wear this other hat? Oh, come on. Which hat looks best? They both kind of look country. And, yeah, like I said, I been sleeping in, not getting up. I missed Dan's live stream on Friday because I didn't get up till after it was over. The Friday before, I missed it because I got busy as soon as I got to work and slowed down. I forgot all about it being live, and by the time I realized that it was over, I could have made it, but I didn't realize it in time. And so I didn't make his. But wearing one of my new shirts. This is one of the APF 50s. I don't know what's going on with my phones. They're acting up on me. Just need a bow tie, yeah. Now, Dan, listen to me. Mike, you may not believe this, but when I was a teenager, I had a job where I wore a bolo tie and a cowboy hat. I worked at a place called Bonanza. It was a steakhouse. And that was part of our uniform for work. It was a bolo tie and a white cowboy hat. And so I wore that for almost not quite 2 years, over a year and 8 months before I went in the service. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming. Mike beat you, but he's the only one that beat you here. Like I said, I don't know how long this will go. Depends on how many people show up and if anybody wants to come up and talk. Nice long weekend for me. As you can tell, my voice is a little out of it today. Let me do this as well. And so now, Mike, now what did you have there in Canada? Loved it? Was it Independence Day or Filipino Fest like I went to? I loved it. I didn't get to make it last year. I was really glad it was overcast day and kind of rainy when I first left to go to it. It was overcast the whole time I was there. Now I hope to go again next year. It'll all depend on my work schedule. And hopefully it'll be a better day. I would have loved it if it had been I'd love it if it was 2 days because I would have went the second day as well. But it was only with a 1 day festival. So I did enjoy it. It was a small festival. When I say small, I mean in that size of park, it was a small festival. More than enough parking. Oh, Bonanza. Okay, yeah. Now, there was a Bonanza and a Ponderosa both. I worked at Bonanza. I can't remember which, but Bonanza was either backed by the producers of the TV show Bonanza, or Ponderosa was, and the other one was backed by the actors. Matter of fact, it was, I believe it was Dan Blocker that started, whichever one was started by Dan Blocker is the older one. And he started it. And then the producers, because it wasn't, what do they call it, patent or anything like that, they came up with the other one. So Dan Blocker started whichever one was first. The actors went on that. Hey, ABCM, how you doing? LV, how you doing? All right, we got Jerry coming up. Hey, Jerry, welcome to the channel.
Hey, good evening.
And like I said, I'm on a long weekend. I had the 4th off, the 5th, and then my normal 3 days off. So I'm on a 5-day weekend. And it really feels strange because today feels like it should be Monday. I should be going back to work tomorrow instead of Saturday. It was like when I got up Thursday, it was like, it should be Saturday, but it wasn't. So, and I had to go to the doctor, my normal checkup. I got some good news from the doctor on Monday. I think I've told you guys before, I'm considered either diabetic or pre-diabetic. And my numbers are down. They like it to be below 6.5, 6.5 your A1C. Well, last time it was 6.3. Well, this time it's 5.9. So it's even going down more. For my heaviest of what they have on record for the VA was 370. I was down to 183, 184. I don't remember the exact. So almost down 100 pounds. Not quite from my heaviest, according to their records. We'll get there. And it'll just take some time. It just, I didn't put it on overnight. I'm not going to take it off overnight. But so, yeah, that made me happy with the numbers being down like that. And they lowered my, I drank Coke Zero, not Diet Coke. I know. I'm going to tell you the truth. Diet Coke made me hungry. I'd eat Diet Coke and I'd want to snack more. I mean, I drink Diet Coke and I'd want to snack more. I noticed that when I quit drinking Diet Coke, that I snack less. I still snack more than I probably should, but I snack less with Diet Coke. I mean, now Coke Zero than I did with Diet Coke. So, and to me, Coke Zero tastes more like regular Coke. And it's probably still not good for me, but we'll see. That's something, yeah, you're right, Mike. I probably need to give that up. Sorry about my voice. It's just been this way all week. I don't know why. Partly I'm just worn out. I haven't been sleeping too well this week, but that's all right. We'll get over it. I got a shot on Monday, and that shot threw me for a loop. I did not sleep well at all Monday night, Tuesday morning. My arm's been sore ever since I got the shot. It's still sore today, but nothing like it was Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's gotten a little better each day. I can't remember what the shot was for. I can tell you what it wasn't for. It wasn't COVID. I won't take another COVID shot. Wasn't for shingles. I've already had that shot. But it's something older people, they recommend older people have. It's like I gotta have to have a colonoscopy in December. That's us old fogies. We have to get those. That's all right, Elvin. We appreciate you being here. I know a lot of people are getting ready for church in the Philippines, so I understand that. I just always done it this way. I don't know why. Uh, not Mike, Dan used to do his on Friday nights about 8 o'clock in the evening, so I always did mine on Saturday. But he's now gone to Friday evening at 6 Philippines time, not U.S. time, because it used to be 8 p.m. U.S. time, which was 8 a.m. on Saturday. And then I would do mine 8 p.m. on Saturday. And I just stayed with mine. It seems to work a little well. Anyway, Jerry, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Here. Yeah, we're lucky that we're gonna strike out on the hurricane.
Yeah.
This Barrero hit the Corpus area, somewhere in that area, somewhere over there.
And Elvie, in case anybody's wondering, Elvie said she'll be streaming later, an hour from now, just cooking breakfast for now. And she says, hi, Jerry.
Hello, Elvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know we're lucky. We're not getting that direct hit.
So, Mike, you said your wife's going to New Zealand. Are you going to meet her there? She's at church right now and is going to head to Cebu today, and Tuesday heading to New Zealand. So it sounds like she's got a nice trip coming up. I was just wondering if you're going to be meeting her in New Zealand and then traveling back to the Philippines with her. That would be a nice little trip for both of you. New Zealand is if I was going to visit some other countries, New Zealand's one I would think about. Australia's another. Mike says maybe in September, so he's not going to meet her in New Zealand. All right. I understand, Mike. I mean, you got to go when it's best for you to go. Like I said, I can't go now because, I'm going at the end of the month. I'm leaving for Terre Haute. Going to go home and I'll. My oldest sister's going home, and we're going home not on the same day, but different days. But we'll be back home at the same time, part of the time. So all four of my sisters, I'll be able to visit all four of my sisters and my mother, and a bunch of cousins while I'm back home, and some friends from that I don't get to see very often. One of my cousins is wanting to have a family reunion on my mother's side, which this part of the family didn't get together very often. It's really, they don't now. My mom's immediate family, my cousin George and Mike and his wife, and then my cousin Sharon and her kids, and my cousin Rosalind. These were all my mom's sister's kids. We get together more than my cousins that are not, directly related, as they're cousins from my mom, mother's brothers and sisters, not her kids, so they don't get together as much. And so they wanted to do it this year on August 3rd. So I'm going to go home the weekend before. I'll probably have a live stream that Saturday before I go, but the 3rd I probably won't have one because, like I said, that Saturday I'll be with the family. I'll probably take some videos of that. I don't know for sure yet. I got a cousin that's supposed to be coming up from Florida. I haven't seen her and her husband in quite a while. So if they're there, I'll get to visit with them. And so I'll get to see quite a bit of family that I don't normally get to see. And then I'll get together with, like I said, whenever I go home, I'll get together with my cousin George and my best friend Dave Tarr from back home. We'll get together, go out and do something, and we'll do that again. We usually go out and most of the time we get Mexican food. We'll go out and get something to eat, maybe watch a movie or something. My buddy Dave, he runs the American Legion back home, so I'll go in there once or twice. Now I don't drink and drive, so I'll go in and have Coke and listen to music, and we'll talk and visit. His wife will be there. I know her, Lisa, and so I was there at their wedding when they got married. So, I'll get to see them.
That'd be cool. Hey, I got a question. How many parts did you make for the Filipino festival? I think I've only seen 3.
There's 5 up right now. One's a short. And then I'm putting up another 5 next week. And
I
that'll
haven't
be
seen
it.
the short. I gotta check out the short.
The short just went up yesterday.
Yeah, I saw the was it Banana Q, the 3rd part?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was Wednesday. That's part 3. Part 4 was just a little over a minute, so it went up as a regular video. And then part 5 was just under a minute.
I'll check that one out.
LV, I really enjoyed it. I wish it was a longer, it was only one day. And so I didn't get to try as much food as I'd like to try because I don't want to overeat. And some of the stuff I don't want to eat cold. I got a ubi cake with flan topping, and oh God, that was delicious. I would have got that again the next day if they had it. It was going 2 days. That'd have been my dessert 2 days in a row. I absolutely love the ubi cake. And I had banana Q, and then I had some lumpia. And I was going to get some of the other stuff, but man, the line was just so long.
I like that ube, but Chris never liked the ube. I used to love eating the ube ice cream.
Well, Mike says Walmart here in the States has ubi ice cream. I'm going to have to see if that's true. I haven't been over there to check it out yet. So I'll have to find out to see if the Walmart does. I guess up where he's at, Walmart has it.
Walmart in Canada? And
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever seen it here. Oh, down here.
I haven't looked for it down here. I'm going to have to look for it now. I'm going to have to go to the ice cream aisle and see if they got it.
Yeah, here we got freezer after freezer after freezer of ice cream. You go to the Philippines, it's just one little freezer.
All right. Elvie's saying tomorrow's going to be her last live stream before vacation for 9 days. Yay. My plane ride. Her first plane ride, excuse me.
Her first, that's good.
Yeah. Well, Elvie, my first plane ride was over 50 years ago. And it was leaving Indianapolis, Indiana, going to San Diego, California to start my time in the Navy. So that was my first plane ride. And I was 18 years old. So like I said, over 50 years ago, because I'm 70 now. And so, yeah, that was a long time ago. Elvie said she's just a toddler. No, Elvie, you're a baby, not a toddler. You're an infant. But, it was something else. Now, I went in the Navy in March, and we had 6 inches or more snow on the ground the day I went in. And my parents took me from Terre Haute up to Indianapolis because my mom, wanted to see me off, and she didn't want to see me off at home. She wanted to spend as much time with me before I left. That's right, Elvie. You may meet the right man. But anyway, I wore, if you remember the old flannel jackets with no lining, they used to call them CPO coats. And anyway, I was wearing that, which is really, that is a jacket that you wear when it's in the 50s. Well, it was in the 20s when I went in. And everybody's looking at me as I was crazy. And I looked at them, I said, all right, they're wearing these big old winter coats. I said, where are you guys going? And some of the guys were going to Florida for boot camp. There was a couple of us going to San Diego, California. I said, all right. Now, I don't know about you, but I said, I got in a nice warm car. I got out of that warm car, walked about 10 feet into this nice warm building. I'm going to get out of this nice warm building, walk out about 10 feet. Hey, how you doing, Paco? But anyway, I got out of I said, I'm going to get out of this nice warm building, walk in and get into a nice warm vehicle. We're going to drive to an airport. I'm going to get out of that nice warm vehicle, walk into a nice warm airport. I'm going to get on a nice warm plane, and I'm going to fly somewhere where it's nice and warm. And they're looking at me like I'm a little strange still. And the guys that went with me to California, we get to California, and we come off the plane, and they're pulling off their heavy winter coat because it's too warm for it, and they're carrying it. I just unbuttoned mine, and I'm quite comfortable. Hey, Mertz, how you doing? And so they finally understood what I was talking about because I was thinking ahead. And that whole weekend, the only time that winter coat did them any good at all, because we got there on a Friday and got our new uniforms on Monday. So we wore civilian clothes for the weekend, our jackets and stuff. And so in the morning, early morning, the jacket was comfortable for them. I was a little cool, not too bad, but the rest of the day, I was very comfortable, and they were either carrying their coat or trying to find a place to put it. And so, like I said, sometimes you got to think about where you're going and not where you're at.
Yeah.
Now, we were told before we went not to take more than a couple changes of clothes because we'd be getting new clothes on Monday. They would be shipping everything we brought back to in my case, to my parents. The other guys, it might have been their parents, their wives, or girlfriends, wherever they wanted to send their clothes back to. And some of us ended up in the same company. Some ended up in different companies. Then I flew back, from Indiana to there. I didn't know any of them before then because they weren't from my hometown. The ones I knew going in from my hometown, they went to Florida. So I did know some guys that went in my hometown the same day, but they went to Florida and I went to California. And so, I didn't have anybody in my company from my hometown, but I did have people from my home state. We appreciate that, Mertz, for sharing. We really do. I'm glad you all came in. If you haven't, I appreciate you giving me thumbs up. And go ahead and watch Jerry's videos as well. Jerry's a very good supporter of mine. He comes in almost every week and chit-chats with me for a little bit. I don't think Jerry would do that, Mike. Mike says, Jerry, you can make cat a double.
Yeah, somebody else might, but I won't.
Yeah, and then Albie wants to know the name of your cat.
It's not my cat, so I have no idea what its name is. And whether cat, dog, I wouldn't need that. And the chickens, they're over yonder, but those aren't for meat purposes. They're for egg laying.
Yeah.
So no adobo manok. Yeah, the cats aren't mine. I don't have any dogs. I don't have cats. My pets are the chickens only.
Yeah. I don't have any pets at all. Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons is, like I said, I'm an apartment dwelling. I can have cats or dogs in this apartment building. They allow you to have them. But I'm gone for like 11 to 12 hours a day that I work. I'm gone a minimum of 11 hours, usually around 11 and a half to 12 on the days I work. You can't do that with a dog.
It'd be pretty stressful in the poor dog or cat. Well, the cat will tolerate a little bit, but it's stressful in the dog.
Yeah, because I can't, there's not a pin-in yard or anything, so you got to keep him in the house, the apartment the whole time. That's not good for a dog. Not that long. And cats, they'll entertain themselves, but their entertainment may be tearing up your furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's one of the reasons. Another reason is I don't know how much longer I want to live. I'm going to live in the States. And once I can retire and go to the Philippines, I'm going to go. And I really don't want to have to worry about leaving a pet behind or taking a pet with me. And the places I lived at before this wouldn't allow me to have a pet. I might have been able to have a cat, but there again, I was gone 9 hours or more, 5 days a week. Obviously, it is for me as well. If it's my pig and chickens, once I give them a name, they're family already. But no, I understand if you make a pet out of them, they're not for food, But like I said, Jerry does it for the eggs, not for the meat.
Yeah, it's for the eggs, breakfast.
But you get more eggs than you need.
How was that?
See, I said, but you get more eggs than you need.
Oh yeah, it's I can't. I'm not gonna eat eggs twice, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But I won't eat 3 or 4 a day either.
Yeah.
So it'd be 2, like about 2 is good number for me.
Yeah. Mike says you can have all the pets you want in the Philippines. You don't own any of them. Elvie says, Sir Mike, our house is like a mini zoo.
Yeah,
LOL.
Petting zoo.
Like a mini zoo. Not a petting zoo, a mini zoo.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to have that in the Philippines. Who knows? I may end up with a dog once I get there. I can't say. It depends on my living situation. If I'm living in apartments in the Philippines and I'm not having any pets, well, he's crowing about something.
Yeah.
But now, Mike says I named them, but I don't eat them. But if I rented a house, maybe I'd get a dog. But I don't plan on renting a house. But you never know. Like I said, right now my plan is to retire in Cebu, but I may decide Cebu is just larger than what I want, and so I may end up in who knows, Iloilo, Davao, Ormoc, Dumaguete, Cavite, it's in the province of Cavite somewhere. I don't know yet. I'm going to stop in Cebu first and see how I like it, and whether or not I think I can afford to live there and do what I want. Because, like I said, once I retire, I'm not going to have near the money I got right now, and I won't even have half of what I have right now. To be honest with you, I'll have enough that I can live in the Philippines fairly comfortably, not extravagantly, but comfortably.
In order to survive, just enough to survive.
No. I could maybe survive on it here in the States. I can live in the Philippines.
No need to splurge.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, though, in the Philippines, I can do a little more.
Yeah.
Now, I can have a little bit nicer apartment or maybe a little less of an apartment, but I can have a better lifestyle. I can do more things on my time off. If I stay in the States and try to live on just my Social Security, which is what I'll be living on, I'm not going to be able to do much of anything. I have to pay for my rent, my groceries, pay my utilities. I'm going to be pretty close to broke all the time. So, I mean, I really, I might be able to take a trip maybe once or twice a year, where I could probably take a trip once or twice a month and still have a little more money for other things in the Philippines. So it makes a big difference. Hey, Cindy, welcome. I just spotted you. Thank you for coming. And so, like I said, that is one of the main reasons I want to go. That plus, like I said, I want to go somewhere warm and the people are friendly. But I want to go there so I can live comfortably and not just survive. I can stay in the States and probably survive. I'd have to get federal help maybe to survive as well as I'd like. Live like maybe senior housing, because that'd give you better rent control. stuff like that. But I wouldn't be saving money where I can live like I want to live in the Philippines if I find the right location and still save money every month. And for emergencies and doctor's appointments. And well, Mike, I'll be living on less than that. I'll be honest with you. I'll have. I plan on living on less than that. Like I said, you can live comfortably on less than that. You can't do that. I can live here on $2,000 a month. All right, I'll tell you that right now. I can live right where I'm at for $2,000 a month. Now, how comfortable it is depends on how much you like to do, and how many bills you have. Now, if all the bills were paid off, I can live comfortably here on about $2,000 a month. My rent would take up a good sized chunk of that, but then that's everything else is not that. My electric bill, between my rent and my electric bill, that'd be almost half that much money. It'd be just under $1,000 a month, just for those two things here in the States where I live. And where I live, it's not the most expensive apartments, and it's not the cheapest. But it is a very comfortable apartment complex. I've shown videos of my apartment complex. It's quite nice, but there are others that are not just about the same and cost a whole lot more than what mine does. They're probably newer. I don't know. My utilities, because everything's electric here, so that's all I have is electric. It's over $200 a month. So between the two, I'm under $1,000 for those two. Then you throw in your.
Can you see that little speck right there?
Huh?
Can you see that little speck?
Yeah, the one that looks bent.
Little orange one.
Oh, the orange. Yeah, I see it.
That's a piece of cat food, and the ant dragging it or pushing it.
Okay.
You know how you see how ants can lift.
They're about 100 times their weight.
Yeah,
They're
very strong. That's what that little ant's doing, carrying that little piece of. It's really small, but it's twice, 3 times the size of the ant.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very strong. Yeah, Mike, there's places around where I live that would cost me that much money just for rent. But they're newer. They got they may have like a washer dryer in the apartment or in the apartment building itself, or mine doesn't have that. Maybe it has a little bit bigger yard for your apartment, or mine doesn't have that. I don't have a yard. I don't really have a yard at all. Now there's a lot of green space around me, but it's not my yard. I have a bush and some plants in the little portion that I have that you can't really do anything with. I have a patio, and then a sidewalk, a driveway, and then a hill. None of that does me any good. Now, there are apartments in my building, or not my building, but in my apartment complex that have yards actually for their apartments. Now, they're not real big, but I've showed you some of those, how the people have. One guy's got a nice little setup for sitting out there and enjoying it. They got patio furniture. That's actually part of his apartment. That's his yard. It's not real big, but it's about 3 times the size of mine, if not more. And there's others that don't have any either, other buildings. So it all depends. And I think that influences the cost of the apartment. My apartment building and the one next to me, we have very little parking compared to some of the others. Some of the others have parking on both sides of the driveway. We only have it on one side. So it really cuts down the parking spaces. And like I said, that probably affects how much you're spending for your rent, But like I said, with my utilities, like I said, I'm counting my internet and my electric bill and my phone bill. Not my phone bill. Well, include the phone bill and the rent and all that. It's just a little over $1,000 a year. All right. Now, I mean, a year. Listen to me, a month. A little over $1,000 a month. And so, like I said, for $2,000, I can live. You know, if I have all like my car's paid off, and even if it's not paid off, I can still live decent. But if the car's paid off, then I live pretty good. Now my car's not paid off yet, but it's not too far away. But I could still, you know, have my car, pay my rent, buy groceries, and I'd have to watch my money because of the car payment. The car payment's almost $400 a month. So believe me, that's a big chunk of change when
Yep.
you know, when you look at what I got coming in. But because I'm working and I got some other things going on, I can live comfortably. Now that I got most of my bills paid off, I'll have my and I'm talking credit cards and all that. They're almost all paid off. Once they're all paid off, I'll start saving money towards a retirement for moving to the Philippines, and I'll be able to put back a fairly sized chunk of change for that every month. So when it does happen, I'll have a good startup fund. I won't go until I have a decent startup fund. Yeah, Mike, in this area here, probably a little over $1,000 for one bedroom. Like I said, I'm on the lower end, but there are places lower than me. But there's places that cost. I had a friend. They don't live there anymore. But when I moved down here, they were in a 1-bedroom apartment, and this was 3 years ago, and it was over $1,200, and that was almost double what I paid for my place. Okay, now mine's gone up. I'm sure that would go up too. I didn't think it was that much better than mine. That's one of the reasons why I didn't move in there. It was like, for what you're getting, I didn't think it was worth the money. I found this place. It might be a little bit older. It doesn't have a laundromat right underneath in the basement like the old did. But that one didn't have patios like mine does for each apartment. Each apartment either has a patio or a balcony. The upstairs apartments all have balconies. All the downstairs apartments have patios. Over there, only some had balconies. And I'm sure they cost you even more. My friends did not live in an apartment with a balcony. So, like I said, it all depends on what you have as for your setup or your and I can't even speak your amenities. Amenities. You know, theirs were all electric as well. I don't know what the electric bill ran. Like I said, that was 3 years ago. They've since moved out of there and live in a house. So you can't compare that. But that was a 1-bedroom. Mine's a 1-bedroom. Their kitchen was bigger than mine. Their kitchen dining room. So, but I think my bedroom was bigger than theirs. Their living room might be a little bit bigger, but not much bigger than mine. My kitchen's a lot smaller than theirs. My bathroom is the same size. Mine might be a little bit smaller. So my apartment overall is probably just a little bit smaller, but not enough to make it double the price. It's just wasn't that much better. And but a lot of it has your location. What kind of I didn't think their location was that great, but I'm not the one that makes that judgment. I really do like my place. Now, where I was living at before I moved down here was even cheaper, but it wasn't anywhere as nice as this one. It was okay. I was living in a very small, what they call a village. And I would call it a town back in Indiana, but out here they call it a village. And it was an upstairs apartment. I had 22 or 23 steps to go from the driveway up into my apartment. That was starting to get old. I've been there for for 15, 16 years. And the rent didn't go up that much. That was one of the best things about it. Landlords were really good to me. And it was real close to my oldest sister's house. I was about 20 minutes away. About 20 minutes, 25 minutes to work. So that wasn't too bad. All right, Mike, you take care. I don't blame your son for wanting popcorn. Mike says he's going to go. His son wants popcorn. So see you later, everyone.
See you later, Mike. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off as well.
Well, thank you for coming up.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm getting messages from my friend.
Well, we've been going over 40 minutes, so, we'll go a little longer. If somebody else comes up, I'll even go longer. If not, we'll end it here soon, but we'll keep going for a little bit. So thank you for coming, Jerry. I'll have to check out some of your other ones.
Yeah, thank you. And I got to check out what you posted just recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me chat with my friend this morning over there in the Philippines. So,
all right. You have a good one.
Likewise. Take care, everybody.
Bye. All right, everyone. So it's just me now. As you can see, now what hat do you guys like best? I'm going to ask you all. You like this hat? Or you like this hat? I think the cowboy hat fits me a little bit better as far as my persona. I like the ball cap. I bought that at the Filipino Fest because it's got the Filipino flag on there. I wanted a souvenir, but that was the souvenir I bought for myself. So I'll keep that hat. I probably won't wear it very much at all. It's going to have to be a real nice day for me to wear it. Probably wear it more at night because you see that, how that is. I can't wear that too much during the day. That's too much sunlight in. As you can see, I got all these bald spots and thin hair, so I don't want to get my top of my head sunburned. But I still like the looks of the hat, so I bought it. And now when I had hair, I could wear that. But I don't have much hair anymore. And so that's something I have to give up, wearing a hat like that one that lets the air in to help keep your head cool. I like them, but they're not much good for protecting your head from the sun. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm just looking to see if I missed anybody. I do want to thank everybody for coming in. I don't know how long we're going to go yet. We're down to just 3 people in the chat. So I'm going to have to assume it's ABCM, LV, and Cindy. And I want to thank you all for coming. And wish you all a good Sunday. If you haven't gone to church yet, I hope you enjoy your day at church. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a 5-day weekend. 3-day weekend, listen to me. That's my normal weekend, 3 days. So I'm still a little out of what day of the week it is. Hey, man. But if any of you want to come up, at the top of the link, there's a place you can click on and you'll come up. And remember, I don't care if your English is that good or not, as long as we can communicate a little bit. And if anybody wants to ask you guys questions in Tagalog or Cebuano or whatever dialect you speak, it's fine with me. So I'm here for the entertainment. I enjoy doing this. And you can tell my voice is not that great today. That's one of the reasons why I drink this. Megan, how you doing, Megan? Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Uh, you just missed Mike, married to a beautiful woman, and Jerry, I call South Texas home. They just both signed off. They had things to do. Mike's son wanted popcorn, and Jerry's friend from the Philippines was calling, wanted to talk, so he was going to talk with them. So I have no one else up here with me. Hopefully somebody will show up here in a little bit, or we'll shut it down. But I'm glad everybody came, and I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I know it's Sunday morning over there. I understand, Merch, but I had supper, or dinner, however you want to say it. Uh, I had a submarine sandwich. It's a very large chunk of bread with a lot of meat on it. I had a ham submarine sandwich for supper. Yesterday I had chicken, grilled chicken, skinless, boneless chicken breast sandwich with corn on the cob. That was my dinner last night. Night before it was pork chops with corn on the cob, grilled on the grilled pork chops. So I thought about fixing the corn on the cob again today, but I did. I'll probably have that for supper tomorrow night. I do like my corn on the cob. Now, when I lived in Illinois, I had a neighbor. He invited me over to eat what he called roasted ears. ROAST, I guess, EN, roasted ears, EARS. And I never heard of it. So I told him I never had it. And he goes, "You never had roasted ears?" And I said, "No." So went over there, and that was corn on the cob. Yeah, I know rice and fried fish, but you can have corn on the cob with rice and fried fish. Corn on the cob goes with anything, if you ask me. It goes with baked potatoes or rice or noodles. It doesn't matter. Now, I usually don't have that stuff with it, but it goes with it. But yeah, I happen to like rice as well. And now the first type of rice I ever had was what they called Spanish rice. It was fixed a certain way. It was a little more of a not dry. It had a little more liquid in it, and a little more spices. But that was when I was a kid, and regular rice I didn't have till later years. But I've always enjoyed it once I started eating rice and stuff. Now down south in the United States, a lot of people eat rice because they grow a lot of rice down in like Louisiana, Mississippi, areas down there along the Gulf Coast and the area down there. They grow a lot of rice, and so that's a very common staple. In the south and the north, it's potatoes, which I was raised in the north, so I was raised with potatoes. Where the south would have rice a couple times a day, probably a lot of different types of rice menus. The north we had potatoes. I mean, there was potato pie, sweet potato pie, fried potatoes, mashed potatoes, scallop potatoes. I mean, all different kinds of ways of have potatoes. But like I said, it's what was our common staple, our common starch in the north, where in the south it was rice. So when you go down south, you'll see a lot of rice dishes. And, it's what you grow up with. That's what you like. That's what they call comfort food. And like I said, that I enjoy rice. I enjoy noodles. I've always liked pasta. Now we had Italian pasta. So looks like it unfroze. So anyway, this has been going on for a while, and I think I'm going to end this with everybody. Alvy's been. I'm starting to have trouble with my internet. It seems like it's freezing up, then clearing up. And so we're going to go ahead and end this one before it becomes too much of a hassle. I want to thank you all for coming. Appreciate you for being here. If you haven't given me a thumbs up, please give me one before you leave. I know all of you are subscribed. So take care, everybody. Remember to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, as always, try to have fun. Bye, everybody. See you.